So, since we hired Al Golden, which technically he's not hired yet, we have to get the paperwork done today with him, apparently. But once we do, he will be a member of our coaching staff. Well, since we hired him, we've had some very weird interactions on Twitter. Well, not me per se, but people, some creating false narratives, some just, again, saying some weird stuff. Let's talk about it. So, starting off right away, the thing I'm about to show you 100% could be fake. I have no idea. There is no validity to this at all. But there has been some people saying this, so I do want to bring this up. And this is not just G. Will who said this. This is also some other people. That apparently Al Golden is not the guy that Zach Taylor wants. And Al Golden's the guy the front office wants. But at the same time, Zach Taylor wants Patrick Graham. And the front office is saying no. Which I really don't know. Again, the validity of this is a nothing burger. But I do want to bring this up for that reason. I also love the fact that this guy calls Kelsey Conway an opt. He says it later on in the comic section thing down below. But yeah, he calls her an opt and says, hey, because she really, she'll report stories like this to report the story. Again, validity, I'm not sure. At the end of the day, just to kind of not cancel this, but to cover this real fast, if that is true and, Zach Taylor wants a defensive coordinator and the front office and higher up wants somebody else, well, guess what? That's just how the cookie crumbles. At the end of the day, there's a hierarchy when it comes to coaching. An owner, a GM, front office is going to have a lot more power than a head coach. Yes, a head coach should have a say in something. He can say who he wants. But at the end of the day, they're going to hire whoever they think is best. So that's just kind of what it is. If Zach doesn't want Al Golden, then okay. But there's no validity to that. And there's like freaking 20 people I saw post that. There's no validity to it. So yeah, in case you see it, there's your answer. Anyway, he says, first tweet, we got a lot of tweets about this. Not about that crap right there. But we're talking about this, like the actual hiring of Al Golden. First tweet says, I'm not going to hate on Al Golden because I wanted Patrick Graham. Reason I don't agree with the hire is because of the confusing play calls in the championship game. That's all. This was, again, and I'll repeat this one more time. If it wasn't for the fact that Notre Dame came back in that championship game, and in the second half they really outplayed OSU, Al Golden was about to look like the worst hiring ever. Like, it was about to look really freaking bad. Thankfully, he did go ahead and survive by coming back in the second half, but that first half was rough for Al Golden. That was a very rough and questionable first half. But next one we have is Willie Lutz, who says, Al Golden, A. Al Golden hiring process, C-. Yeah, I mean, I think going into this offseason, a lot of people kind of just went with that whole, it's going to be Al Golden. Al Golden, no matter what. We're just out here with, draft day. We have, written on the piece of paper who it's going to be Al Golden. I think that was kind of just the idea. But, yeah, I mean, we had to go through the Rooney Rule. And, yeah. Although and now looking at it, I don't think Patrick Graham was anything part of the Rooney Rule in any way. I think that, they just two options, and those are the two options they want. And they end up going Al Golden. Also, and I think the only reason why, I think Patrick Graham was always a plan B. So, for example, if Al Golden didn't want to come to the NFL, they could just go back to Patrick Graham. Patrick Graham, though, is going to get hired somewhere else. He's a really good coach. He'll get hired somewhere else. He'll get a job with another team. Really looking forward to seeing how he does this year. Also, we can officially end the cheap narrative once again. Al Golden is set to make $2.5 million at Notre Dame next season and would be a top 5 NFL DC salary. So the Bengals had to buy him out and then give him a similar payday. And that's true. Patrick Graham would have been cheaper. So they did pay more to go with our boy here, Al Golden, over going with Patrick Graham, which would have been a cheaper option. Along with the Al Golden hire, I'm very interested to see who he brings along on the staff. I'd really like Al Washington to come with him, or Mike Mickens should be interesting. Now, this was yesterday at 4, I believe. This was posted before we officially announced that we got Montgomery as well, defensive line coach. But we still need a linebacker coach and potentially a secondary coach. So there's always options there. Future Bengal. Yeah, that's the one thing I did say. They're going to potentially, he's going to have some insight on some players that we could bring over and hopefully figure things out with. So, never forget how Al Golden helped develop the young linebacker room. Yeah, we definitely... Oh, yeah, because he used to be our linebacker coach. So, very awesome. Popped into a Steelers space. They say Golden is the worst hire, and they're putting up 50 on us. Makes me think the move is better than I thought. Russell Wilson now apparently wants to retire a Pittsburgh Squealer, which I find kind of funny. But, yeah, no. That offense they have, they ain't putting up 50 on anybody. All they have is their defense, and their defense is slowly windowing away, so that's hilarious. And then Jerry Montgomery is our defensive line coach now. Man, this is the kind of hire that gets you out of your seat. Al Golden hauling in defensive line coach Jerry Montgomery, who is only 45 years old, brings some amazing NFL coaching experience. Yeah, I'm really excited for the Jerry Montgomery one. But I mean, again, like I said, across the board, I think a lot of people expected Al Golden to be the guy in the end. So now that he is the guy, it's like, okay, well, we kind of expected this, since the beginning. And at the end of the day, I think really the most exciting one was Jerry Montgomery. I think that's the one that everyone is getting excited about because he's so freaking good. And we need our defensive line to really start to take off. So this is one of those hirings where you look at it and you're like, this could be one thing we look back in the future and say, dang, that's where we got it right. So very excited for that. Not saying that Al Golden's bad. Al Golden is amazing. But it's just like, you hire one guy, and then you just grand slam. Like, you grand slam one, you grand slam another. People only going to talk about probably the second grand slam. Because the defensive line coach, I think a lot of people, myself included, were kind of scared a little bit about it to see who it would be. And they got a humongous W off of it. So, very happy about that. See you guys in the next one, though. Peace out.